do something with this. So I have my vehicle set to charge, and after 11 o'clock, but I plug it in as soon as I get home. And so when I look at the data, it shows that my car has been charging for like 20 some hours. That's useless information to me. It's not actually showing me how long my car was charged. I know it wasn't charging for 22 hours. Taking a ride in the Rivian. All right, going over some rough terrain right here. These are some of the worst streets, maybe in the entire state of Illinois, perhaps. And so I'm riding on the 22-inch sport tires. And I'm not, obviously, I don't have any experience with the road tires, but I imagine that the ride is probably a little more comfortable than this vehicle right here with these tires on. But I will say, on smooth surfaces, this thing just glides. You know, it just glides. And I really appreciate that. Of course, the acceleration, you know, you can never get enough of that. Yeah, I can not get enough of the acceleration in this vehicle. It's quite awesome, I will say. And I hear some people saying it rides rough, and the Ford F-150 rides more cushiony. I don't know. I'm not a truck guy, actually. This is my first truck. I mean, in my day-to-day life, I really don't have a use for a truck, but you know, we do move a lot of, I do a lot of home improvement projects, like some of you may do. So having a truck for me is practical. We do actually have a trailer that we, a covered trailer that we use to, you know, go get our drywall and all of that type of stuff in. But this with a bed for me and my lifestyle, it's excellent. The size is good enough for me. The truck is not that long. There's a lot of space inside for family. Love the storage. Amount of storage space is just beautiful. So, but yeah, let me show you what this thing looks like on the other side. As you can see, it's quite quiet. I do have my climate controls on. Let me turn it off, and you can hear the sound of the whine of the electric motors, which I do like the sound. I like the sound of the electric motors. This quiet, especially unless you're running into headwinds, and it can be quite noisy. But I mean, right here, I mean, this is nice pavement right here. It just glides. I mean, it just, you know, especially when you mix it in with the how quiet it is, and the lack of vibrations, you know, from the engine, or the lack of an engine. I mean, it just glides down the road. So when other people talk about the ride quality, I'm not sure, you know, what they're comparing it to. I was in a Chevy Volt before, which I thought rode quite smoothly. Actually, I thought the ride was quite pleasant in that vehicle. So I would just say that I am very satisfied with the ride quality of this vehicle. Very satisfied. My wife also likes it. So if you're considering purchasing one of these, like I said, I do have the sport tires. So, and if ride quality is a concern to you, I would recommend these for sure. And maybe even the 21-inch road tires, and with that you get the increased fuel economy with those also. So that's actually a good benefit too. And also another thing, you have this big panoramic roof on, and just from the driver's position, I forget it's there. You know, I don't even realize that until I look up that you have this big glass roof right here. So, but the passengers in the back, they get a really good view. I mean, actually, I would rather be driven around in this vehicle. This would be a great Uber ride, And I was actually considering that, maybe just signing up for Uber, you know, maybe give some people an opportunity to get an experience to ride in a Rivian, just to see what it feels like, and then maybe surprise them when I put their luggage or whatever inside the front trunk. But take a little short take on just the driving experience here. And another thing I really like is the acceleration that gives me confidence to do takeovers in traffic where I didn't have that confidence in that Chevy Volt. That thing may have been 180 horsepower, maybe, I'm not sure. But even though it was peppy, I think it was 0 to 60 was maybe 8 seconds. So it was a peppy car, but nothing like this, where I'm still getting used to it, because I still am a bit apprehensive because I'm not used to acceleration like this. But I am getting more used to it, and I really like the acceleration. I love the acceleration. And right now, riding in all-purpose mode. Normally, if I'm on the highway, and if I'm going, you know, maybe 30 miles or so, I'll put in conserve mode. There is a reduced amount of acceleration, I've noticed, especially when you're already traveling at speeds above 70 miles an hour. So if I need to overtake someone, I just put it back in all-purpose mode. But even still there, even with conserve mode, that's still more than enough power to overtake in most situations. But if you want to do some really aggressive overtaking, then popping it all-purpose and going like a ghost. You know, I'm just going to give you an idea here. Of course, all this is completely unnecessary on my behalf, but just to give you an idea of how quickly this thing overtakes. Got a little rain coming down right here. It's supposed to have a big storm coming in. And give you an idea of how this thing operates, and then now you see the automatic wipers come on. And this is one small issue I do have with this vehicle, is the automatic wipers. I don't think that they respond quick enough. We see if they are. Maybe now that the rain is coming a little harder, maybe they will be a little more responsive. But I have noticed, like if it's just drizzling, also that the automatic wipers are not as responsive as they otherwise could be. But right now in this situation, they seem to be operating pretty well. Yeah, the ride is just, it handles bumps pretty well. You're pretty isolated. I feel the road, but I can also, there's also an isolation from the road, a buffer, as you will. So it's kind of hard to explain, just have to experience for yourself. My wife does have a Mazda CX-9, and this rides much better than that. So I thought that car is kind of supposed to be a sportier SUV, so they have similar type of driving dynamics, but this drives so much better. It looks so much better, and she actually has a signature, which is like the highest end one. You know, at one point I thought, I was like, man, this is nice inside this Mazda signature series, and with the nice interior, and you know, it's all plush. But now I look at her car like, yeah. And even she looks at her car like, yeah, don't even want to get in it now. Yeah, the interior quality is excellent. I mean, looks like a luxury vehicle. It's minimalist, but not being too minimalist. It's kind of hard to explain. It's like I have everything that I need. There's not too much, not too little. They seem to get this just right, in my opinion. That they got it just right. So, especially for the interior. And I had my vehicle, I got mine on February 1st, and today is March 31st. So about a month and a half. So this is, I guess, my month and a half review of this vehicle. And I will say I am still very happy. I like driving. I've put probably around 1,600 miles on here so far. And in my last car, you know, I had it for 6 years, and I think I may have had like 62,000 miles on it. So I really didn't drive it that much. You know, it's more of a commuter car to get back and forth to work. You know, even though I like the ride, I like the tech the Chevy Volt had in it. As a matter of fact, Rivian could take a few cues from Chevy, because I believe they really did a good job with the tech in the Chevy Volt. You know, for example, especially like the functionality of the app. And I can do a lot more in the Chevy Volt app than I can with this Rivian app. It'll give me things like how many miles are on the gas engine. No, this thing doesn't have a gas engine. It'll let me know what my tire pressure is. It'll let me know how many miles I've driven, how many kilowatts I've put into the vehicle as far as charging, and how many potential barrels of oil I may have saved, if that matters to you. So it just gave me a lot more information. Matter of fact, it even gave me a report on my driving. I would give a report like once a month and say, oh, you brake too hard here, and you know, you need to, you know, slow down here or something to that effect. But it actually grades your driving, and it's in your report. So, and hopefully Rivian can get to that point where we can add more features and more information that you can, you know, really collect this data. And for example, you'll know if you can use this app to plug in to see, like if you can plug in the amount of you pay for per kilowatt for your electricity for your service. So if you can plug that information in, and then the charger can let you know, hey, this month it costs you this much to charge. You know, features like that are great, can be great. I know the app, the charger actually is connected to the internet. For why, I don't know, because it doesn't do anything for what I can see except for tell me how many kilowatt hours it's using, and plus give me a bunch of erroneous readings as far as how long my car was charging. You know, even though I have mine set to charge at 11 o'clock at night. Oh my God, I need to do something with this. So I have my vehicle set to charge, and after 11 o'clock, but I'll plug it in as soon as I get home. And so when I look at the data, it shows that my car has been charging for like 20 some hours. That's useless information to me, because it's not actually showing me how long my car was charged. I know it wasn't charging for 22 hours, especially if it only added 10 kilowatt hours or something like that. So that's one big improvement that they can do, uses that, the data, the amount of information, especially the information that's available on the app. But that's all I have. I just wanted to, you know, do a quick check-in with you all today. And, you know, thank you for joining me again, and can't wait to see you on the next one. And you all stay safe out there.